I sort of have that, with the newspaper that we refuse to name on this, like we don't buy in Liverpool, right? Like when I see sort of Scousers having a go at like people from Plymouth or somewhere going, why are you doing an article in that? I'm like, I know why we hate it. And if any Scouser, if you were in it, I'd be like, what the fuck's O'Shea doing? Like,
because you know better.
If you did something, I'd be like, Dan, what the fuck are you doing? But like, we expect everyone to know that everything we give a shit about, don't we?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Schultz using it in his Netflix specials or one of his videos, and someone emailed in and went, what do you think about Schultz using the paper that shouldn't be mentioned? You're like, he's in New York.
Yeah, of course.
He doesn't know the story.
Yeah, he hasn't got...
I understand when people were pissed off that like Stephen Graham or fucking Rooney went to them.
They're disappointing, that's Stephen Graham.
That's disappointing because they know what goes on.
Yeah. Who's Stephen Graham?
Stephen Graham is the Scouse actor. He played Combo in This Is England.
He's in Al Capone and fucking...
He's fucking great.
There's a picture of him promoting a movie and he's holding a framed copy of that newspaper. And if you go on any of his tweets, any of them,
it'll turn up down.
Look in the replies and they'll be like, you're going to address this. And if you say that to him, you could do it now. Go on his latest tweet and go, explain this. You just get blocked. He's never addressed it. He's never spoken about it.
It sort of seems to me with him in particular, like, did he just not realise he was doing it? Because he must have known.
I hate his face on it because I think his face is sort of like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here? Like, he doesn't look happy to be promoting it at all. But he blocks everyone. He's never addressed it, ever. And, like, the video of... Do you remember, like, that, like, sort of... It worked, but it was a little bit cringy, the video, when Hicks and Gillette, and it was like, get out of our club, and they had Ricky Tomlinson, and they had Gareth from the Anfield Rap, and Neil Fitzmaurice, and, like, they all did, like, this video to camera to George Hicks, and is it Tom Hicks and George Gillette.
Tom Hicks, George Gillette.
And they were Liverpool's owners before Fenway Sports Group took over. And it was basically...
The shit Americans.
Yeah, they were like, you came in and you promised that you were going to put a spade in the ground within 90 days. You were going to get us a new stadium. None of it's happened. You've just trying to steal money out of our club. Fucking get out of our city. And he's in that video.
Is he in the video as well?
Stephen Graham's in that video. And that, like, I struggle now because genuinely at one point, and there's definitely a Scouse parochial, he's one of ours about this, but he was possibly my favourite actor for a bit because Combo, not in the film This Is England necessarily because he's disgusting and as good as he's an actor, but his story in the This Is England TV series, and I watched every single bit of that, it got more and more complex. He showed such a good range to play that character in. I thought he was fucking brilliant. He's gone to work for Martin Scorsese and played Al Capone in a massive US hit, Broadwalk Empire. And he's
in The Irishman.
Yeah. The Irishman.
He's fucking great.
A Scouse lad done good who should be remembering his roots because it's fucking drilled into you as a Scouse. So you're always a Scouse no matter where you move to. I know he lives in fucking Derbyshire or whatever. And then I seen that. I think what happened was I tweeted saying he's one of my favourite actors, Stephen Graham. And it was Rob Thomas and was like, have you seen this? And I was like, I can't not hate you now. Because you're being a fucking bellend, aren't you? It's just,
It's strange, and it's like he's got to have had a moral sort of view in his head. What's going on here? He kind of just went, "Oh yes, sound."
He's not fucking stupid, lad. He knew exactly. He knew exactly what was coming, and that's why he doesn't address it. Because there's nothing he can say. He can't say sorry. Because everyone will go, "Well, you fucking done it now. Fuck off." And he can't go, "It was in my contract." Because everyone will go, "Oh, so you're a sellout." There's no answer.
Yeah. Could he not have afterwards come out and gone, "I fucked up here. I shouldn't have done it, and I shouldn't have been there."
I think Liverpool's quite an unforgiving city, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the reason Rooney got forgiven a bit more because obviously that story was sold to a fucking independent thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it ended up in the Sun, so it looked like he'd gone straight to the Sun, but he hadn't. But with that one, he's physically holding a copy, isn't he?
Yeah. So I had a bit of trouble with that. So when I won that award, Best Joke of the Fringe thing, every newspaper in the country reported it very positively.
Apart from them.
And I told them quite publicly to fuck off a couple of times. Like they offered me like a full 2-page spread to promote me tour. And I had my publicist on the phone going, "You're getting a full 2-page spread in that." And I went, "Mel,
doesn't matter,
I'm not doing it. Fuck off." And she was like, "I know there's these squabbles with that paper in your city.
She'll never get that.
You need to, because this is really big." And I was like, "It's not happening." So then I was like, a bit naively, don't get me wrong, because you're taking on a fucking media giant. I just went on Twitter and said, "I've just been offered this. I'd rather have empty shows. They can go fuck themselves." And you're talking like 100,000 likes, like people retweeting it everywhere. Good on the lad. Everyone should buy tickets to his tour because he's done this. And, it did what it was meant to do.
Yeah.
But it also pissed them off. So they reported that I'd stolen that joke. That won
Really?
that. Yeah, the front page. It was horrible, wasn't it?
Because they're not known for being
into-
vindictive, so that's a surprise, isn't
We
it?
were in Edinburgh and I went into the shop and went, I'm going to go and have a look in it because I didn't want him to see it. And I looked in the paper.
And it was there.
Oh, big, and not like a little fucking corner thing. Like,
God, it's
On the front page.
Surprise.
Where have they, and they just made that up. They just
So
fucking...
the joke was a bit hacky and shit.
Yeah.
But they were like, he's stolen it. It's an old
The
stuff.
job centre joke is
The
that.
job
Yeah,
centre
yeah.
joke. It's not a good joke, and I didn't ever want to win an award for it. Like, we've covered it on this 1,000 times. There was a reason that joke was in that show and in that bit and whatever. I never asked to win an award that gets national coverage for the worst joke in my show. I didn't ask for that. But they reported it that way. So then my publicist's like, we need to address this. And I was like, I don't want to address it. They can just fuck off. And she went, right, well, we need to put a statement out because you've just won an award, which you get a big cash prize for in this exposure. We need to put a statement out. So I went, okay, let's put a statement out. And then Chortle, full circle for the start of this episode, they reported the statement. And because the statement was in response to something that had been in that newspaper, Chortle reported it as speaking to...
Yeah, I see, yeah.
And I rang Mel, do you remember? Yeah. And I was like, I don't care what happens, but get that off that fucking website because I did not talk to them. I spoke to you and we put a public statement out because I can't be seen as speaking to them.
This is London journalists and London PR that will never get it. They're like,
of course.
like the fact that the term squabble was used. Now, I know there's these bloody Merseyside squabbles, but we need to get over it and get some good PR. Like, they'll never get it.
Yeah.
Oh.
To be fair to Steve Bennett, Chortley did change the article.
He's a good guy.
He's in a public statement.
Just want to say, he's a great guy. Chortle.co.uk if you'd like to nominate us for an award we'd like to win. Great guy. Great journalist.